Welcome back, ladies. Yes, and gents. Sorry, I didn't want to be non-inclusive. Yes, we've just done the research. It was definitely Nixon. And now, this phone call, Enzo, that you call Italy, which is only what? About 3,000 miles away, 2,500 miles away, wherever it is, right? You're getting like at least 2-second delay. Hello, auntie.
Buongiorno.
Yeah. Grazie. Big delays. They rang the moon, and it should have been, I think, like...
Did the moon answer?
When they landed on the moon, they done a phone call, right, transmission, and it was supposedly live. And you're talking at least like a minimum 5-second delay.
Thing is, right, you say that, they're talking live. Now, you watch that film, they do exactly the same thing. They speak from Mars to the president, right? But you imagine keeping the president in the dark. He thinks they've gone to the moon, the same as me and you and him and there. And the phone goes, fucking hell, hello, mate, yeah, on the moon, all right, where's Shay going? Right? Because he's in the dark and all. This is how deep this conspiracy goes, you know what I mean? When they're trying to fake something, they don't put everyone in a loop, do they?
Well, okay, no, but this is for the public now to believe.
Yeah, of course,
right?
But if he's picked the phone up thinking, and he's excited because they haven't told him they're not on there, they ain't said to him, look, mate, he's in a warehouse down the road.
He's in the dark as everybody else.
Yeah, of course.
You know? But a part of it is what I'm trying to say is that the delay in the signal. So if we're talking about 5 seconds minimum, and we're talking about 250 million miles, 250, 250,000 miles, 250,000 miles, the moon from us, right? And it's literally, he's talking to the astronauts and he's responding as soon as it's fit, like you're sitting next door to me. Do you know what I mean? And that was one of the key giveaways. How could that be happening? It's impossible. Because even today, there is still a delay in signal between Earth and the moon, and even Mars and the Earth. So the further something is, the longer the delay is. I mean, like I think Mars takes about an hour and a half to receive a signal or something like that before. So it's got to program out the moon, the little rover. They've got to pre-program that where it's going to go, what to look at, and always be like an hour or whatever it is. Whatever the time delay is, they've got to be that much ahead.
So how long do they say it takes to fly then from here to the moon?
3 days.
In a straight line?
I suppose it's a straight line.
Not a straight line.
No.
Apparently,
into the mic.
It's to do with the orbit, so it's not a straight line. They do fly like that.
But don't they fly in?
They have to match the speed and everything.
Yeah, to like they don't chase it. It's like as it's coming, they're going to the place where it's going to be.
Go like that. Well, I can't describe it.
Nobody
like
can
that,
see your description.
Yeah,
so
but basically visually. It's going like that. So you've got the Earth and then you've got the Moon. So if you're breaking off from the Earth, then you have to fly and meet the Moon.
Yeah,
you have to meet
you'd be ahead
like
of
that.
it.
So you wouldn't. It's not a straight line.
Yeah,
like that. It is like that as it's moving. You do have to meet it. You have to match the speed.
Yeah. I know. I hear that.
I can't see it. I can't see him doing it. I can't see it.
Mate, it's when, like I said, do you believe your government? Naivety of people. It's easier for them just to laugh at people that believe in this kind of thing. But these are the people that don't really search or question things and just believe.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Because I don't believe it, you might think I'm a nutter. Right, but I don't think you're a nutter because you believe it. It's just your belief, isn't it? Your fault.
It's not just the belief on because like God, for instance, is not tangible. God is not you can't touch God, you can't see God. You know,
doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Not to me. To me, it means that He exists regardless. I have my spiritual connection, but the moon does exist. It's there. You know, everything around it exists. And it's all lies based on it, you know, and to do your own research for people just take it as gospel, whatever the government tell you, and it's all lies. If you do your research, if you look into it, even like some of the astronauts have come and admitted it. You know, I mean, look at when the first man went to the moon and then they came back and they got a hero's welcome, and they were the most depressed looking, miserable looking, afraid looking astronaut people I've ever seen.
So would you be if you've been promised you're going to go to the moon and they've pulled you out
exactly
and stuck you in a room for 4 weeks or whatever it is?
Exactly, and they got to sit there and lie to the public, and they're being applauded as heroes. They must feel like shit.
How about we've all been told we're going to the moon, and all of a sudden we're not going to the moon. But now you've got to sell the lie. If you don't sell the lie, we're going to out your family.
Yeah,
you've got to carry that shit around with you,
mate. If you saw the interview, you go and see the astronauts' return interview.
I'll tell you what is a good thing to look up on YouTube. Right, it was on Channel 4 back in the 90s. It was who was the geezer off the Big Breakfast? Johnny Vaughan, right? It was called Space Cadet, I think.
Yeah.
Right, and it was a spoof series that was on each week or thing. And then what they did, they put out an advert for civilians to go to space, got to come, and everyone would, which I'll go. So we all went there, whatever, and you do a questionnaire. And what they did, they whittled out everyone with half a brain cell, got rid of them. The ones with no brain cells, they kept. Right? So they was easily led and fooled and this and that. And they basically tricked these people into thinking they were going on a spacecraft, right? It's fucking brilliant. How they done it was blinding. They had a couple of actors in there, spoof actors, that were in there to try and keep them on track.
Yeah.
And they basically lived in a simulator. They didn't know they was in a simulator. They put them in a plane. They flew them around for 4 hours around the North Sea, just round fucking top of Scotland, right? Like that, just flying round. And then they landed in an airbase up north somewhere, and they changed all the plugs in there to Russian plugs, all the signage, everything. They had actors in there, you know.
Yeah.
I can't do a Russian accent. I was going to try them, but I'm not even going to bother. They were doing Russian accents and everything. And they had plausible space talk, right, which was absolute bollocks. And you could see it was bollocks, but they were so sucked into this trip, yeah? And they drove around this thing, and they had a shutter on a hanger, and they had a nose cone or something in there, and fucking smoke going, and people walking around in space suits, and all getting excited thinking they're going to go up. And they basically done a week on this in a simulator, and they opened and it was so plausible, but then they opened the curtains or pulled this thing back to see the moon, and they all had this experience of being out in space, and they said you won't feel weightlessness because of where we are in the atmosphere. And they filled them with so much shit, technical shit,
they believe.
If you didn't know, you'd just take it for granted, and they had this true belief that they went to space.
Isn't that the majority of the people of the planet?
There you go. So if you can fool these people into thinking they're not even taken off, they're in a simulator, right? And that was just a little game show, with no real money behind it.
Yeah.
You get a government funding a conspiracy, you can make them believe anything.
Well, this is it. Some of the things they do are tests. They test us. They test humans' mentality. Like, have you seen all the crap in the skies recently? Like potential UFOs and stuff like that online and all that. And what it is, a lot of them are saying they're holograms. What they're portraying up. This is how far our technology's gone. They can project holograms, believable holograms, into the sky. And this is where it's all based on that New World Order, where if we get people believing we're going to have an alien invasion, we can all gather and say all the governments get together, and obviously from there you move on to like a one world government. Then from a one world government into one religion. This is why, going back to the 1965, that I forgot that dude's name. Damn it! If I were the devil, I can't remember and they divide people, break down the church, the family home. And after they break down the church, they want to do a one currency across the world. So it's all about control. Now, control is fear. You know they're going to come rushing to you for protection if you create enough fear in the public. Who's going to look after us? Who's going to defend us? Where do we go? What do we do? Government pop in. Hey, we know what to do. You know, why they're the ones staging this shit. This is why technology, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Remember, we've got artificial intelligence that is creating other artificial intelligence with quantum computers. And you think now, I mean, they can't project an image in the sky that's very realistic for human society to believe in it. Is that what we're saying? They can't, because I think they can. They're that advanced with their technology. They're that advanced with their projection systems. This is a way to fool the people, to get them together, to look for help and be taken under the government's wing and to become a new world order. The path has already been laid for the new world order. It's been talked about from Bush, the first Bush, senior, even back to Reagan. It's all the way up to Barack Obama. All this is in effect and it's in play. It's just a matter of time before they do these things for people to shit themselves and go run into the government, get in that chip, get rid of money, so it's all digital and you're controlled. It just leads one thing into another. That is my opinion and my belief. Does it make me crazy? Maybe. If you think I'm crazy, fine. But it's a belief, and it's better having a belief than sitting on the fence like, what are you talking about? Life is wonderful. McDonald's is still around. I mean, is that what we're getting at? People don't question anything. They go university, get dumbed down. Is that it? Nah. As humans, as people of this planet, of this civilization, we got to be able to hold on a minute. I call that bullshit. But unfortunately, we're made to feel like we're crazy. We try to come out with any truth or what you may perceive as truth, and you look nuts. And who's the one that looks nuts when the shit hits the fan? Just be ready, man. That's what I'm saying. Guys out there, just be ready. I mean, like I said, I hope you don't think I'm nuts, but it is everything that is happening is a part of the direction of going towards a new world order. Simple as that. It's been in the play for many a century, if anything, because that's the way to get ultimate power. And this is the upper echelons of society. Rich, look after the rich, and there's rich and there's ridiculously super rich people, That's why I like Trump. I like Trump because no one's pulling his strings. He's all self-funded, and he's like, I don't give a shit. I don't like this part of the government. I don't like that part of the government. And he's done so well for his country. He's got the bollocks to stand up to the man because he's got money. And this is the point what I'm trying to make. Like Lisa wouldn't pay her poll tax with the riots and everything. And then she went and got a got a fine in the letterbox come through. So if she was minted though, wouldn't get it because you're a part of that society. There is a them and us. It's as simple as that. A them and us, and you just got to make sure you're ready for when the time comes. It may be in my lifetime or our lifetime. It may be in our children's lifetime. But you try telling this shit to your kids, they'll think you're nuts.
I mean, the nearest thing I can think of that's happened like that, how you're explaining it, is COVID. Do you think that's
a test?
There was all of the injections, they got us doing exactly what they needed us to do.
And
one, then two, then three, a booster.
But they said with those injections, people are going to line up for it. They're going to be willingly wanting it. And at that point in time, society was divided. And when I mean divided, those who had the what's it called?
The pokey.
The injection.
Jab.
Yeah, the jab. They were turning on people that didn't have it.
Yeah, but they gave us an ultimatum. I mean, with my job, I work in childcare, and I had to have the jabs. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be allowed to work in childcare.
That is an infringement on my human rights.
I think this is a whole episode. This
to go down the COVID.
Well, it's just as well because we've got 5 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to wrap this one up because we're coming to the end of this one. We'll be right